At 28, things went unexpectedly wrong in my business, and I lost $200,000. That day, in a panic, I called my bank to ask about my account balance. After I got my answer, I hung up the phone. I felt a chill inside. I was helpless. I didn't know what to do. That day I cried deeply, but that feeling of helplessness was the beginning of my road to becoming a millionaire. I learned a lesson I will never forget for the rest of my life. Today I will share with you what I've learned from that day to this one. In America, the average person earns close to $2 million in total over the 30 to 40 years between entering the workforce and retiring. To earn $2 million over your lifetime, you go through incredible hardship. You sacrifice sleep, you cut back on your needs, and countless other things like that. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. What does your portfolio look like right now? What is your balance? Your current situation is like a mirror of the years ahead, so the answer to this question matters. Wealth grows step by step. It's just like the rank system in the military. It climbs gradually. $100,000, $500,000, $1 million. $1 million is not just a number. If it were, everyone would earn it. To help you understand the topic better, here's a comparison. When your portfolio is $50,000 and you get a 7% return, you earn $3,500 a year, about $290 a month. At $100,000, you earn $7,000. A nice bonus, but it doesn't change your life. At $500,000, you earn $35,000. Things are starting to shift, but you're still on stage and the portfolio is in the background. At $1 million, how much do you earn? You earn $70,000 a year, nearly $6,000 a month. An extra $6,000 a month is not bad at all for the average American, and you're not putting in overtime for it. This is exactly where your turning point begins. Right now, you might be thinking, $1 million is a huge amount of money. I could never reach that. But here's what you need to know. I started my working life at 18 in a small textile workshop, earning $8 a day. I had no credit card, no bank account. I started from zero, just like you. Now let's do a small math exercise together. There are three characters, Alex, Mark, and Paul. All three are 38 years old. Their monthly savings are roughly the same. They invest in the same index fund. They all get a 7% return, but their starting points are different. Alex starts today with $1 million, Mark with $100,000, Paul with $50,000. Where are these three people in 10 years? Paul goes from $50,000 to roughly $260,000. Mark goes from $100,000 to roughly $300,000. Alex goes from $1 million to $2,200,000. Three different people, but the same discipline, effort, and willpower in all of them. Where did that extra $1,200,000 in Alex's portfolio come from? In the first year, his portfolio earned $70,000. By year 5, he was approaching $100,000. By year 10, he passed $150,000. Now, grab a pen and paper. I want you to do this mathematical calculation with me. There's a rule in finance called the Rule of 72. Burn this into your memory. When you divide 72 by your annual return, you find how many years it takes for your money to double. At 7% return, doubles in 10.3 years. At 10%, 7.2 years. At 12%, 6 years. Remember, Alex had $1 million at age 38. At 48, $2 million. At 58, $4 million. At 68, $8 million. And he's not putting in any overtime for this. It all comes from consistent investing. Remember, making something from nothing is harder than turning one into 10. Of course, this process isn't easy. It requires serious discipline and an iron will. But let's get to the real point. The first million took 14 years. The next 7 million comes in 30 years. Like a system running on autopilot. Whoever figures out this system becomes wealthy. Many financial experts agree with what I just described. Charlie Munger has a famous saying, "The first $100,000 is the hardest." It's one of the truest sentences I've ever heard. You have nothing in your pocket and you're inexperienced. You may not always know when you're doing something right or wrong. $100,000 won't make you free, but it builds the foundation of the steps leading to freedom. At $100,000, your portfolio earns $7,000 a year. Ideal to start, but not enough. At $1 million, your portfolio earns $70,000 a year. At this level, your portfolio's return alone matches what most people earn as a salary. $100,000 is where compound interest begins. $1 million is where compound interest wins. They're not the same path. One is the start, the other is a very high level that only those who understand the game reach. But never forget, never give up. Now I want to talk about that crisis that put me through such hard times. At 28, I had signed my first major export deal with a large German company. I was earning good money then. The only question left was how to use it. Some of my business friends spent that money freely, nice cars, luxury vacations, and so on. Others turned to investing. I had those same two options in front of me. I chose investing. I distributed most of the money across a portfolio, some into index funds, some into real estate, some into currency diversification, and I kept going in a disciplined way. 2 years later, a currency crisis erupted out of nowhere. In one move, $200,000 was wiped from my account. That day was one of the hardest of my life. $200,000 might not have sunk me, but it wasn't a small amount either. I couldn't sleep until morning from the stress, wore myself out, and had a terrible workday because of the exhaustion. But I didn't panic during that crisis. I waited. My portfolio stayed as it was. In the end, the market rewarded me. That day I learned something. Compound interest is not just a concept, it's a force. To feel that force in your bones, you must not touch it. There's a famous phrase called automatic wealth. Maybe you've heard it. Wealth doesn't become automatic because you became a millionaire. It becomes automatic because your portfolio returns start to cover your living expenses. That's a very specific definition. The average family spends between $30,000 and $70,000 a year. $1 million at a 7% return covers that range, meaning your portfolio's return alone is enough to cover it. But for this to work, you must not touch the principal. The secret of this business comes not from spending millions, but from protecting them. Your portfolio earns. You spend from those earnings. The principal stays and keeps compounding. This is called the Trinity study. American financial researchers studied this. Based on 60 years of data, if you start with $1 million, withdraw $40,000 a year, and that money continues to grow inflation-adjusted, it covers your expenses for 30 years, while the portfolio continues to grow. Shall we look at the acceleration curve of compound interest together? For a disciplined saver, reaching the first million takes an average of 10 to 20 years. The second million, without additional contributions, takes 8 to 10 years. The third million, 5 to 7 years. The fourth million, 4 to 5 years. Third million, 5 to 7 years. The fourth million, 5 years or less. At the $5 million level, a portfolio generates $350,000 a year. Beyond this point, you're already above average. You can cover your expenses and make some enjoyable purchases too, as long as you don't go overboard. When I first heard these numbers, I didn't take them seriously and brush them off. But later I stopped, thought, and ran the calculations. and I saw that this is the power of compound interest. But there's a critical point you must watch out for. I've seen many people reach the $1 million level and then collapse. When you reach that level, you need to stay stable and make rational decisions. After reaching $1 million, the size of the number deceives them. They fall for that feeling of being rich and start spending lavishly. You must absolutely avoid this. They buy unnecessarily expensive cars, luxury apartments, spending as if the money will never run out. A few years later, they're back at zero. The 4% rule only works if you withdraw just 4%. If you erode the principle, you're burning the machine's fuel. The journey from zero to $1 million is built on hard work and iron discipline. From $1 million onward, it's built on stability and rational decisions. Most people can't handle the second part. There's another trap as well. Say your portfolio is at $900,000, the market is turbulent, and you panic and move everything to cash. Then you can't get back in the race, so you stand still while everyone else moves forward. I see this in many of my friends. By human nature, losses attract our attention more than gains. This is true in most areas of life, not just finance. But in the financial world, you have to suppress this tendency, or you'll keep floundering in quicksand. Those who are patient always grow. A famous businessman once said something I remember: buy when everyone is selling, sell when everyone is buying. Those who were eliminated fell out of the plane and, frightened by the fall, couldn't bring themselves to get back on. That's why the first million depends more on temperament than intelligence. Someone patient and capable of rational decisions can easily overtake someone who can't control their emotions. I want to share a secret most people don't know. The day you reach your first million, you don't become rich. That day, you become an employee of your portfolio. Up to that point, you were the boss. You had a bit more freedom in deciding how much to invest, how much to spend, how much risk to take. After $1 million, the portfolio is the boss. The only thing you need to do is stay stable and be patient. When the market is turbulent, hold on. Don't rush to sell. Just follow the market. We should act like Warren Buffett. The market eliminates the impatient and rewards the patient. Warren Buffett's most famous moves are the ones he didn't make. Charlie Munger says, "The big money is not in the buying or the selling, but in the waiting." 1/3 of lottery winners go bankrupt within 7 years because they don't know how to manage money. It's the first time they've had a large sum in their hands, and they waste it on luxury cars and lavish vacations until it's gone. Meanwhile, those who rise from zero by learning to invest build a money-generating system over time. Do you know what question you should ask yourself? Stand in front of a mirror and ask, "Can I stay calm while money does the work?" Most people are impatient. Do they buy at the top and sell at the bottom? Do they check their phone every minute? That's up to you. But first, we need to learn to be patient, or compound interest stops compounding. Those who reach $1 million and quietly observe for years tend to be quiet, unassuming, invisible people. They don't act hastily. They don't post screenshots. They live below their income and grow their portfolios with what's left. They live peacefully. If you want to build wealth, engrave these 2 words into your mind: silence and patience. After reaching your first million, do you want to know whether your wealth will keep multiplying or whether you'll crash back to zero? There's only one thing to look at. What did you do during the last major market crash? Did you sell? You'll struggle. Did you keep investing? You'll make it through. Trust the math. Those who cross this red line share one common trait. They're not unusually smart or lucky. They're unusually patient. They quietly observe the market, like a sapling that grows with each watering. They patiently grow their portfolios and don't interfere with the math. It's actually that simple. Until you earn your first $100,000, you do the hard labor yourself. That's why it's difficult. The first million is a bit more painful, because your mind is more involved than your physical effort. By the first $10 million, you have employees. The process has become entirely mental. Most people never get to see this. Because of impatience, they get off the train at the first stop. At $100,000, they chase a car. At $300,000, they drain it for an unnecessary down payment on a house. They can't analyze events and distinguish right from wrong, and they don't account for the possibility that the wind might blow the other way. Finally, I want to mention this. When you reach $1 million, your options and your choices change. To put it more clearly, before $1 million, pay rent, pay off debts, keep your job, don't get sick. After $1 million, start a business, change cities, take a year off. Give your child a better education. As your capital grows, so does the number of ladders you need to climb. People say money doesn't bring happiness, but that's wrong. Money removes the stress of a person who can't make it to the end of the month. Money removes the stress of someone drowning in debt. Money alone may not bring happiness, but the source of most problems is the lack of it. After reaching a certain level, you'll start to notice your problems decreasing, and from that point on, you do what you want to do not out of obligation, but because your free will chooses it. To wrap up, you can share your portfolio and income expense balance in the comments. I enjoy exchanging ideas. What I described in this video is based on my experiences in the financial world and is not investment advice. Don't forget to consult an expert before making financial decisions.